What's going on, people in the pod? I am Watt, one half of the Unpacking Black podcast.
I am Shelise. I'm the other half of the Unpacking Black podcast, and we are on lucky number 7. I am so excited.
Yeah, man. So before we get into it today, you want to catch everybody up on your weekend activities. It was Memorial Day.
My weekend was great. I had a lot of fun this weekend. I didn't really have anything planned. It just kind of went with the flow. Ended up turning up on Saturday and didn't get home till 4 in the morning. I ain't done that in a minute. I'm 30 now. Those days are far and few in between. But then, Memorial Day, went out to the beach, barbecued, had a little
The
cookout.
space in
It was great
between.
though. It really was. What about you?
Yeah, just pretty much just stayed at the crib. Ate some food, just hung out with the family. Nothing too out of the ordinary. And yeah, just to make a quick sidebar, but it is very important. In observance for Memorial Day, we have to remember the history of it and how it came to be. Slaves coming out of the Civil War, after the Union won, they dug up the mass burial site that was created by Confederate soldiers, where they killed around like 200 something, somewhere around like 200 plus soldiers, um, Union soldiers, and just buried them in a mass grave. So what happened was black people came, dug those bodies up, and actually gave them a proper burial. And we celebrate Memorial Day to this day for fallen veterans, but that is the true history of how this holiday came to be. So that's just something for y'all, man. For the people out there that didn't know, now you know.
Yes. Yes, thank you for all of the vets and the active duty members who are serving.
Yeah, and yeah, that's important too, man. Shout out to our veterans that fight for us to this day. Ones living and past. Yeah, but let's go ahead and get into it. What we got for today?
Let's start with the Simone Biles. No. No, seriously, she's 24, black. We need like a little button I could press in it like cheers. And she's from Columbus, Ohio, and she's been breaking records all over, the competitions, and she's been doing her thing. The latest move that she pulled off is called, hopefully I say this right. It's called the Yershiko double pike. And she's the first person to have ever attempted this move in competition. And she not only attempted it, she landed it. And it's so difficult and dangerous that the panel limits the scoring on it. Just for anyone who attempts that move, they give them, an okay score. But she's landing these moves, and they have named several moves after her because she does them so well and completes them effortlessly every time.
Yeah, I also saw the clip of her performing the move, and she is like, the goat, man. Um, and one time for just black excellence, just being black and great. You know what I'm saying? Like this is one of those times when we really need to herald and prop her up for being who she is in this moment. Just kind of doing things that nobody's ever done, and she's just blazing her own trail. So big props to her.
She's phenomenal, and she's definitely raising the bar. The other competitors definitely have some work to do, and they have a little saying going around. She has a goat and rhinestones that she wears on the back of some of her leotards, and they say, the goat stand for
Yeah,
greatest of
man.
all time.
hmm
So she's doing that.
Yeah, and we also have to take a moment out just to like I like what I see from athletes of this generation, and we really have to tip our hat to that. For her to be bold enough to kind of come out and just claim that like I'm the GOAT, I'm better than everybody. You're witnessing greatness right now, and then to actually get out there and do it, man, that is something that's to be heralded. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have a lot of Michael Jordans left of the world. Black people being great and just claiming their greatness in that moment. So I like that, especially coming from the younger athletes, man, to have that swagger about themselves. Like that's what I like to see. And it kind of dovetails off the next thing that we were talking about, and I kind of want to get into. So recently, Naomi Osaka was fined for not participating in interviews in the French Open. She refused, and they fined her $15,000. I want to say. Um, and in response to that, she decided to drop out of the French Open. Um, you can go ahead and tell us your thoughts on that.
Well, I think it poses a very important question, like should athletes be required or should it be mandatory for them to have to speak with the press? I know it's in their contracts and some press is mandatory, but I think we spoke about it earlier. I feel like when it comes to mental health, that is the most important thing. And I think she should take care of herself, like she did, and maybe withdrawing from the French Opening was the best thing for her to do. It's unfortunate because I would have loved to see her play. I'm a tennis fan, but I don't blame her. Self-care is a form of protest, and if she didn't feel comfortable and she didn't want to do it and she didn't want to put herself in that situation, she says she suffers from depression and social anxiety, so I can understand why she wouldn't want to talk to the press. And if they couldn't work with her, you gotta do what you gotta do for yourself.
Yes, and her and just her experience right now as far as dealing with mental health, I think it's a microcosm of what black people as a whole experience in America. Kind of being in this type of society that's not favorable to black people, we have to deal with, mental health, not necessarily mental health issues, but there is a stress or your mental space needs to be preserved living in this type of environment in this climate. And I think that's
Right.
something that people don't really talk about openly, like how society affects, how the environment affects the mental health of black people. But more importantly, I mean, if she needs to take a break to get her mind right, I'm all for that. I'm behind that young lady 100%, and I definitely support her in her decision. Like, man, fuck them folk.
Self-care is the best care. And she's well known. I think everyone would have loved to see her play in the French Opening. The fans unfortunately missed out on watching her play. The association definitely missed out by having her withdraw. And she missed out. She didn't get to play a sport that she absolutely loves and is very, very talented at playing. And I just wish they could have worked with her. I think there was something they could have worked out. And unfortunately, they didn't. And this is a result of it.
And yeah, to your point, it creates a situation where, I honestly feel like athletes or just people in their respective field, they shouldn't have to speak in regards to interviews unless it's something that they want to do. For because I seen the interview and Stephen A. Smith was saying like in the contract you're contractually obligated to actually speak to the press. I just honestly feel like if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. As perform as athletes, I mean, the only thing we expect you to do is compete. If you're an athlete and you're on the field, that's the only expectation the fans can have for you. That's the only expectation the press can have for you or anyone just observing you, watching you play. As long as you're out there competing and giving 100%, I can give a goddamn what you got to say before a game or after a game. If you want to talk, fine. If you don't, that's cool too. And that's how I feel about it.
I want to add to that also for the fans. If you're not coming to the game to have a good time, if you don't like somebody in the arena, you're going to be outside of yourself and get out of character that bad over somebody on the floor and the way they play the game. Don't come to the game. Nobody else wants to be a victim of your bad attitude, your immaturity. Stay at home, please. Don't ruin the game for the rest of us, and please don't disrespect the athletes that we came to see
Yep.
play the game that we love. Okay, stay your ass at home.
Yes. Keep your ass at home because if I'm an athlete and you go to doing that crazy shit, and these motherfuckers not like since the NBA done opened back up and we got fans back out here. Okay, niggas is wild and they out here throwing water bottles and popcorn and motherfucker trying to pour honey on the basketball players and gravy and duck sauce and just all kind of just crazy shit. Look, man, um, I'm gonna say this because it needs to be said. These athletes, it's at a certain point you gotta pull a run, artist. You gotta run in the stands and really confront these motherfuckers because I don't give a fuck how much money you spend. You don't have a right to degrade a person or demean a person. Yeah, you can heckle people, and you can only do that to a certain degree. If it's just something that ain't distracting, like motherfuckers go to saying all kind of wild, crazy shit, and then you wonder why niggas be on your fucking head. It's like at the end of the day, bro, don't disrespect nobody and won't nobody disrespect you. You feel me?
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Dump popcorn on me. Yeah, I might be upset because I don't know you. Don't touch me. Don't throw nothing at me. Don't do anything like that. But if you spit on me, oh, the media would have got a whole eye full. No, it would have been going down. A whole camera full. No, I would have been in those stands. Don't spit on me. That's probably the most disrespectful thing you could
Yeah,
do.
Ronald, test your ass.
No.
But yeah, I mean, this is just a PSA for people that come to the games or people that have jobs outside of those games when dealing with athletes. Man, put some respect on it. We living in a day and age now where you ain't gonna be able to just say something crazy to somebody, or you ain't gonna be able to do something crazy to somebody. Y'all think Run or Test was some wild shit. These athletes today, they going through it and they actually seeing in their time like a lot hasn't changed for them. So a lot of them just, the ones that are out there, like they bold, man, and they making those statements, and it's like, you can see that, you can see the confidence in them, and I don't, and they ain't gonna take that, and I don't think that they should. So, just as fans, respect boundaries. As news people, respect boundaries. If somebody don't want to talk to you, or if you just in the game caught up, it's okay to do a little heckling, booing. But at the end of the day, bro, go on about your way. Don't take it too far, because nowadays we living in a day and time where niggas will go there with you. Like, ain't gonna be no you took it too far and we just sit back and play victim. That ain't happening no more. So it's like, yeah, we in the space now where motherfuckers really, you thought Run or Test was bad. Yeah, shit could get really go down in the town. Do you heard me?
And that brings us to our next topic. This one,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to really hone it in on this one seriously.
Yeah, man, you good. Go ahead.
The Tulsa Race Massacre, also known as Black Wall Street. I can't. I really can't. Today marks the 1 year anniversary.
100 year.
I'm sorry, 100. See, I'm all in my thoughts. I'm messed up. 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre. And for those of you who don't know, because there's a lot of people surprisingly who do not know what that is, what happened, what it means. They think it's only the little excerpts they seen on, HBO's Watchmen or Lovecraft Country. Please do your research, do your history.
Do your Googles, man.
A mob of white people stormed into what I like to call Black Wall Street, and they burned down buildings and killed every black person in sight, tearing down, over 1,200 homes and buildings. They just vandalized, and it was just a riot. Okay, 35 blocks were destroyed for roughly 24 hours of violence, and they killed about 300 black people.
Yeah. And I want to speak on it briefly. Yeah. I sent you a clip of Viola Fletcher. She's 107 years old, and she's the oldest living survivor of the Tulsa race riot. Um, in regards to what actually happened in Tulsa, it's in large part just a small blimp on the map of what had been happening to black people. Also at that time, like, that was the running thing. Mobs were literally killing black business owners all over America, burning down thriving black cities. Like, this was something that was happening in America, mainly because when you look at the downturn, a lot of what happens is when white people experience economic hardships, they get their keel on. Or if they just experience hardships in general, like, they literally kill the competition. So that's what we seen in that instance, as well as many other instances all over America. You gotta understand that, like, Tulsa was not just unique in unto itself. It was places like that all over America that shared a similar fate, where people coming in, running you off your land, killing you, they're killing business owners. Like, that was a normal occurrence for the time in America. And I think that having someone from that actually that lived that experience to come back to share it with the world, that puts it in proper context. You know what I'm saying? So how you move from here is important because people are giving you that real life testimony of what happened, and it's something that you can't ignore or just negate.
Yeah, and for years they were saying that it didn't happen. For years they were saying that. They still say that to this day that it didn't happen.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because when you acknowledge the wrong that you've done against a group of people, you have to make people whole again. So there's a debt that's incurred that America does not want to pay because, in the grander scheme, it's like what keeps someone a slave or keep someone in a disadvantaged position is poverty. The minute that they give you reparations, you're no longer subjugated to whatever they want to put you through. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's true freedom.
It's crazy to me that people just found out what Tulsa was last year because we're in a pandemic and people didn't have nothing else to do but like look up information, and systematic racism is at an all-time high all of a sudden, even though it's been a thing. People are just learning about this stuff, and it is blows my mind, but at the same time it's kind of a relief because I do want people to see and understand to a certain extent what we're saying. Like, the more people that understand, the more people that know, the more awareness we can bring to it. It's just one more step in the right direction. So let's just keep educating each other, educating others who don't understand, and just try to be liberated as a people.
Yeah, and I think Miss Viola Fletcher being able to give a testimony to Congress at this point in time, especially with the anniversary of the Tulsa, Oklahoma race riot. um she is the living embodiment of the debt that is owed. You know what I'm saying? It's like people know it's owed, but to get a real life actual occurrence, like somebody that was actually there, they're actually giving you the testimony of what happened. They're telling you the story of what happened there. It proposes a bigger question as far as reparations is concerned, because when you look at her life, not only was the riot a traumatic, horrendous, experience for her as a young girl, um, she talks about her life past that point, and she talks about the just the amount of just negative offset that that event had in her life, and it echoes, like it's the same type of experience a lot of African Americans have had in this country because of things that have happened like that, where someone runs, like I say, someone runs a business owner out of town, or they kill them, or these race riots or massacres. Like, these things happen and they affect people negatively, they affect generations of people. And for her to give insight into like how her life was prior to this event, it just shows that America does have a debt to people, and we have to really take a moment to seriously look at reparations for African Americans.
And I think that's a big conversation. I'm on my 40 acres and a mule. But no, I think that's a big conversation for black folks in general that we need to have. You sit around in your circles anyway, you ain't talking about shit. Let's talk about what reparations looks like for us, because if that question really is taken seriously and they really do pose the idea of giving us reparations, which we're going to keep pushing for it, by the way, we need an answer, and we need a solid answer. We need to all be in agreement of what that looks like for us.
Yeah, and I think the overall goal is just a change in the quality of life. I don't, and it's not a good idea to put an exact dollar amount on it because we don't actually know how much it will cost. You kind of estimate it, but it's one of those things where you have to infuse people with cash until they reach a certain level, or just not only cash but resources. If you want to look at it just at the root, then yes, you have to have money for funding and justice reform and all of these different things that go into getting people on a level where they can live an adequate quality of life. So reparations at the end of the day is equivalent to the quality of life someone lives and they're able to pass down. So yeah, we just frame the conversation from there, and then you just go and figure out what you need.
Please, please, please do your research. That's all I ask. That's all I want you to take away that from me today. Do your research. Learn, educate yourself, educate the people around you. And you are the company that you keep. Take that how you want to take it. But I can't. The conversations are bigger than, what color nails and shape of your nails you're getting and who's getting the best lace fronts and Nicki Minaj being on the Mount Rushmore. The conversations are bigger than that, okay? Talk about something else when you're in these circles with our brothers and sisters and you guys have opportunity to spread knowledge or spread wealth with each other. Gosh, I can't.
Yeah, man. Just people need to just stay focused on the task at hand and make sure that they reach the finish line. Stay diligent, like I always say. But I do want to get into something a little bit lighter before we head out. I seen on a couple blog sites, they came up with the Mount Rushmore of rap for the 2010s, and on that Mount Rushmore was Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and the fourth person was a mystery. LeBron James posted that Future would be the fourth pick, and Nicki interjected, and she was like, "No, I should be the fourth pick." And my question to you is, do you think Nicki Minaj deserves to be in the Mount Rushmore rap for that 2010 era?
You want the long answer or the short answer? No. And this is not, no, I don't care. This is not a Nicki hating conversation. This is not, a Nicki shade. If we're talking about Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar, first of all, these are all male artists. Just go ahead and put that out there. And secondly, I just don't think she holds the caliber of, lyricism or talent as these said rappers. I just don't. I'm sorry. Nice try.
Yeah, I agree. And the reason why I agree too, and I know she brings this up a lot in regards to like being a lyricist and writing her own rhymes. I don't think lyrically she's on that level of someone like a Drake or J. Cole or Kendrick. Outside of Drake, the aforementioned artists, they never really mention her in that type of regard, where it's like, I'm gonna do this song and I gotta be better than her. That's one. And I also think too that like when we compare artists or rappers and stuff, we have to compare them using the same metrics. And I think that some of the things that she does to get appeal or attention on her is not the same thing that the other artists start doing. So it's like, Kendrick Lamar ain't out here, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole ain't out here dropping it like it's hot. So it's almost like you got here, and I don't hold that against nobody. It's almost like, well, shit, when it come to you get some money, do whatever you got to do to get your paper. I ain't gonna look down on you. I ain't gonna look sideways on you. I ain't gonna say, well, you ain't, you shouldn't have the right to do that. Whatever you have to do to get what you need, I'm for that. But at the same time, it's like you don't get to be in the realm of comparison with other artists that don't do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
I think she her popularity and her fame and success has come from her flow and her fan base. That's it. There's about a handful of songs that I can say like, oh, okay, that was a dope bar. Or like, okay, she killed that 16. That verse was cool. Like, I really appreciated that. Other than that, I can't. And I tried. I really did try. Like, there's only a handful of songs I could be like, okay, that song come out, I might turn it up. Other than that, no, I don't. I can't really be on the bandwagon. I just can't.
Yeah.
And the Barbs, they gonna cancel this whole show.
Yeah, they on our head, man.
And that's cool. But that's cool. That's what it is, though. Her fan base will always be her fan base. Her fan base is ride or die for her. You know what I'm saying? They there to the end. No matter what she put out, You know, red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish. They gonna ride. And that's really where it comes from. In the caliber of music that she put out in such a short time span. Like, if you look at her years of being in the game and how much music she put out during, like you said, a certain time frame where certain artists weren't out and doing the same thing, her flow is cool. She has a nice little style. You could tell it's Nicki without even knowing it as soon as you hear her. And her fan base. Her fans go crazy for her.
Yeah.
You talk about bars. You talk about being a lyricist.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's adequate enough, but I just don't
No.
see it like her being like the all aforementioned, like, just fourth and final spot.
You putting Future up there?
Yeah, I put Future up there. Most definitely.
Okay. And I think some people would agree with you on that. You know who I'm gonna put up there?
Who you gonna put?
If we you said that fast. If we talk about the 2010s, and me just thinking about it right now off the top of my head,
Think
I'm
about
gonna say
it.
Meek Mill.
You know what?
And that's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. Personal opinion.
You know, it's a lot of artists that you can put there. I definitely got to give Meek Mill a consideration. A lot of other ones. Big Crit.
Yeah. Oh, I love Big Crit. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't think you can actually deny his like mixtape run and the things he put out.
Yes, you are.
Like,
now it's a real okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
But you see what I'm saying? And I think it's also too the category of artists that are already on Mount Rushmore. Like we got Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. So naturally, you're gonna try to put somebody who's in that same category. And to me, no shade to Future, which I think he do kind of fit in if you want to talk about more like the Drake side. But like a Big Crit or a Meek Mill, they slide right in there. Like that mesh well. Ooh, you just mixed it up for me. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
I do like me a Big Crit.
Yeah, take you a second.
Okay, I see what you're doing there. And Future cool. Like I'm not. There's no shade to Future. I do like Future. I do like him, but I love the other artists that are mentioned. So it's like I like him. I love Drake. I love J. Cole. I love Kendrick.
Yeah, like no, they all great artists, and I do think like Future does belong.
I love
there.
Meek Mill. I also love Big
Meek
Crit.
Mill. It's a toss up.
If we talk about the 2010s,
Yeah. Yeah, most
like
definitely.
this past decade, then
Yeah, it's a lot.
that makes it more interesting too, I believe, because a lot of people who I would stand up for and are huge fans of, they get cut out once you hit that 2010 mark.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's a lot of great artists around that time. Like I
So,
said, that fourth
I
spot
don't know,
is
man.
very
It's
intriguing.
interesting. I'm curious to see who's going to get that final spot, though. They
Yeah.
should make a versus, all four artists,
Yeah, the fourth and final
whoever
spot.
they come up with.
The Battle Royal. Pod family. At this point, I had to take break. It was some silence and niggas was on the line talking and y'all couldn't hear them. But we're gonna kind of edit that out and we're gonna jump right back into it right now. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I had to go pee, bro. I ain't gonna even lie to you, for real.
I peed earlier.
Shit. Holding that shit in.
We're going to have to start doing that intermission.
Either that or I'm gonna be in this motherfucker with a goddamn pamper on doing a
Not a
podcast.
pamper.
Yeah.
Well,
A microphone and some huggies.
some pampers.
Yeah, give me the good shit, some pampers. but like getting back into the debate, I think you can make a case for like Wale and Big Sean as well, like two great artists that you can put in that fourth spot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Wale. I like Wale. Big Sean's cool, but I actually love Big Sean. I'm a huge fan of Big Sean. But I feel like we could step it up a notch. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
I really love Big Sean.
And that's the thing too, is like if you really think about it, like he's a great lyricist. He has the hits, so he has like all of these components, and for whatever reason it's just never actually reached that superstar level. Like he's a star, like he's a legit star, and you know he got the potential to be a superstar. Maybe just something he don't want, I don't know, but like you can't deny what he's done, and he has a real argument for the fourth spot.
He could go bar for bar with a Kendrick or a J. Cole, but J. Cole or Kendrick's bars are gonna hit you deeper. They're gonna be more intellectual. They're just gonna be more melodic. Like I love me some Big Sean though. Shout out to Big Sean. But J. Cole and Kendrick gonna do something to you when they bar hit you and you recognize what they saying, and then you have that come to moment. You gonna feel that, and you ain't gonna never forget that bar. You only gotta hear it once.
Yeah, with like Big Sean, I don't think it's nothing you could really point to kind of say why he doesn't belong on a Mount Rushmore. You know what I'm saying? A rap during the era of the 2010s, because like he's had hits, he's had like he can rap. You know, like he can hold his own. He can go toe to toe. Um, I think that sometimes we have to look at like maybe the artists don't want what we as fans want for them. That could potentially be it. You know, maybe he just like, well, shit, bro. I'm more inclined. Like, I'm just more happy, just you know, rapping, getting my money, and just living life. Maybe he doesn't want to be the big mega star. The same way, I mean, like, and I could make that same case for somebody like Creek. It's almost like those mixtapes, those early mixtapes. You know, they were legendary. The album releases. I've never really been a fan of Big Crit albums as much as I am of the mixtapes. I feel like the mixtapes is where he gets to be himself. But I do understand the politics of albums. So it's certain things is like, you know, you can't get sample clearances and having to work with people, and just they kind of strip your artistic freedom when we get into the realm of making an actual album. And that's but I'll say this, like, that's not a knock on his talent, or that's not a knock on his case. It's just like, I think with those artists, they may not desire to be like the megastar, but they do deserve to be there if we're gonna be honest about it, and they probably deserve to get put over people asking to be there, but just it's like I mean, it's other people that you can put in that conversation that you can make a case for. And I don't even think that Nikki will object. I don't think she'll ever be like, you know what? Oh, you gonna put Creed over me, or you gonna put Big Sean over me? And that's what I'm saying too. It's like it says something when a person nominates themselves versus when other people champion you or herald you, even your contemporaries or your peers. It's like if your peers are saying, "I'll give you the nod," like you deserve the nod or you deserve the look. It's more it's more assuring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's something that expounds and goes far beyond just having fans that maybe diehards, or gonna get on the social media and grab the microphone. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm telling you, she paying the barbs. Like they're going to back her no matter what she say, no matter what she do. The barbs is forever going to be Team Nikki. Like they are loyal. And that's where she's always going to come in her strongest point, that fan base. Like they're going to give her the numbers that she need. Regardless of what she say on the track. She could sing the ABCs backwards. It's gonna be a hit because the barbs is gonna be there to support her.
Yeah, they will, and they gonna support her when it comes to getting rid of us.
It was not, but they will still sit there and look you in your face with a straight face and say bars. Like what, queen? Like what? Where? I am not even a rapper. I'm not even an artist, but I feel like I can give you a hotter 16. Give me 20 minutes. Like, and then I think I come up with something better. I just really do. I'm sorry. Like,
oh Lord, not you.
I can't. Yeah, like I'm so serious. And I'm not a rapper. Once again, like I'm not an artist. I'm not a rapper. I'm not a lyricist. If you gave me 30 minutes and I was serious about it, I think I could come up with something better than Nikki. I'm sorry. I said it.
Yeah, you did, and it'll be funny if she replied like, "You got 48 hours."
Look in the ass.
Hey man, hit the Unpacking Black podcast. Shit, we ain't gonna be around long.
That's all I'm gonna say.
You
Oh, for
wild.
real.
You wild.
I don't agree with her entirely.
But I think that speaks to just the level of interaction she has with her fans, and that's something that you can't deny her of either. I mean, if they're willing to ride and just even the simplest rhymes are great to them. I mean, like that's a good thing about hip hop now. Like everyone has their own space. So if people like it and people gonna get behind it and support it. I mean, you can't feel no type of way about it, but I still say that Mount Rushmore, that fourth spot, there's a lot of people more deserving. Like I say, Big Sean, Future, Big Crit. So, that's my opinion.
Well, I think we should go ahead and leave this one on the Unpacking Black podcast floor.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's leave this one on the floor. Got to get my edit on, chop it up for the one time. Yes.
Well, this is lucky number 7. We got 7 under our belt. Thank y'all so much for the support. Please like, subscribe, share. You can find us at Unpacking Black Podcast on all platforms. I am Shelise _ with the melanin.
And I am Watt One Band on all socials. And let me hit them with it. We out the box with it. Do you hear me? Yeah.